What's going on, guys? I'm Aaron from PhoneDog.com, and I really have to give US Cellular credit. You know, they kind of stuck with Windows Mobile, kind of stuck with BlackBerry, and they were late to the Android game. But over the past, 8-10 months or so, they've really done a great job at bringing in those Android smartphones. You know, they have the Desire, they have the Mesmerize, and a new one coming, as of a couple of days ago, the Samsung Gem. Now, this is a low-end device. It's not intended to compete with the Desire or the Mesmerize, anything like that, but this is great for those people that are migrating over maybe from a BlackBerry or from a Windows Mobile device or even from a feature phone, and they're, first-time smartphone users. They want that experience, that first experience into Android. It's pretty well equipped, and it's $30 from US Cellular on a 2-year agreement. Now, is this the device to get? Should you go with something else? Let's take a look at the browser on this, just to, one, see how fast it is, and two, see what it looks like on this smaller display. And you'll see, like I said, don't take these data speeds to heart because it is Verizon this is running on, because I'm roaming at the moment. But let's take a look at PhoneDog. And like I said, I like the Gingerbread keyboard. It's a little bit easier to type on, and of course you can enable haptic feedback in the settings so you can get that vibration if that's something that you like. Let's see, wait for it to load up. Portrait and in landscape mode, of course. If it's with a display this small, you may want to keep it in landscape when you're doing something like browsing the web. But I kind of want to see what pinch to zoom is like. This is running Android 2.2, so it's flash capable. And let's go to PhoneDog and wait for that to load. While that's loading, I can show you some of the settings. New window, bookmarks, windows, stop, and more. So it's the typical Android browser setup. You can go to a new window, so while that's loading, then we can go to Windows and see which ones are open. And again, there's no kind of pretty graphic or anything like that here. It's just the Android one, the US Cellular one we just opened, and of course PhoneDog. So I can click on that, go back to PhoneDog, and there's what it looks like. So you see the difference. On a PhoneDog, you see it on a small display like that versus a little bit larger, or even on a display that's not that much bigger, but it's just better coordinated, like the iPhone. You look, you think, okay, it's 0.3 inches bigger, it's 3.5 inch display, but because it's a Retina display, high resolution, because the text looks so much better, you can even read it when it's zoomed out. So, it is a decidedly low-end screen. I feel like I'm saying low-end a lot in this video, but I don't know of any other way to, to describe it. Low. Let me think of something, a synonym for low. That just reminds me of the song, get low, get low, get low, get, I'm going to spare you the singing. But you can see pinch to zoom, pretty moderate, kind of slow. But what could you expect for a low-end device? No, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to use it again. Let's see here. Scroll up and down through the menu. So you can see some lag, but, again, flash, so those advertisements are running in the background. So not, absolutely terrible. That said, I would probably stick to mobile pages on this device if you can, which PhoneDog has a mobile page, and we can load it up, take a look at it, m.phonedog. If you ever have a question, speaking of about a mobile page, our mobile page is m.phonedog.com, and I don't know what is going on here. Hang on. Let's see, I have no idea. Okay, there we go. m.phonedog. So it's really kind of starting to lag now. I kind of take back what I said a minute ago. It's just certain functions, though. It seemed to be pretty responsive when I was working with it, but it's kind of slowing down now. I don't know what's going on. So let's see. m.phonedog. I don't know why it just did that. There we go. So you can see there's the mobile page, and I'm the president of the Fat Finger Club, so I know I'm probably clicking something, or I think I just clicked the go button after M. Yeah, I did, which is what's causing that. We can go back to the mobile page at m.phonedog.com. A little bit easier to scroll up and down. So I keep it to the mobile pages if you're browsing the web on a pretty regular basis. Now, one thing I do like about this one, it does have physical send and end keys, so when you do get a phone call, you can click send and click end. That's just me. I'm a nostalgic type person. I kind of like the old phones of, 2006, where they did have send and end keys, and you could, it wasn't all touchscreen based. But you see, if you remember my Thunderbolt review, you can see the difference between like a 3.2 inch display and a 4.3 inch display. It's pretty dramatic. That said, that's not the target market that this device is going after. Of course, there are some changes to Gmail as well, and if you've watched some of my videos, you're like, oh, he's going over these again, but I think they're pretty important to go over. The application's been kind of revised, and this is something that you can get, you know, if you have Android 2.2 across the board. But I'm waiting for these conversations to load. One thing I like now about it is when we go in, for example, and we click on an email account verification. Let's see here. Actually, we'll go back from that. Go to Welcome to MotoBlur because I want to find one that scrolls up and down. Loading, loading, loading. Okay, so you can see when I go to the top and when I scroll down, that header always stays at the top. So if I'm halfway down or 3/4 of the way down and all of a sudden I see something that makes me mad and I'm like, I got to respond to this email, blah, I can click right here, which I would never recommend responding to an email while you're angry, but just saying. You can click there and hit reply, reply all, and forward, and you can do it directly from the header itself. Archive, delete, forward back here as well. But all in all, I just think it's a little bit easier, more a little bit just more easier. I don't know. I felt like I had another word coming after that, but it's just easier. And you could see Old Man McTweety up here. Then if I had more than one Gmail account, I could switch back and forth between those accounts by doing that. Let's take a look at Quadrant Standard and see what the scores are. And I have a feeling, spoiler alert, probably not going to be that good. Let's see. Quadrant Standard, run full benchmark. Wait for it to load. You know, I have used it for a couple of days, and again, keep in mind it's roaming on Verizon, like I said, but you know, call quality overall has been pretty good. The earpiece is nice and loud. I haven't had any problems with that. The speakerphone was loud as well. I've been pretty pleased on that front as well. So speakerphone, call quality, you know, took it to a Verizon dead spot because obviously US Cellular isn't here. The Verizon dead spot, and it was choppy. I almost lost the call, but you know, it was to the point where I had 4 or 5 second dropouts, and then all of a sudden the person came back, you know, and they'd be in the middle of saying something and I hadn't heard a word they said. So, you know, it wasn't the greatest in the world in the Verizon trouble area, but I was able to keep the call, and I did pair my headset, one of my headsets to it. I can't remember which one. Oh, the Plantronics one, my favorite one, the Plantronics Voyager Pro, and had no problems with it. But you can just see the stutter in the Quadrant Standard here, so the score is not going to be the greatest in the world. Excuse me. Let's wait for it here. What's it going to be? Da-da-da-da-da. And we'll wait for the little graphics to pop up. Little planets. Yeah, overall I like the design of this device. I think it looks good. And, well, yes I am straggling here while this loads up. I'm just trying to kill time. You know, in the Anchor, like if you watch any of the Anchor stuff, they're like, kill time, you know, stretched out, benchmark result. Okay, let's see what it is here. 296. Yowza, 296. So definitely not a fast device. If you're looking for something, you know, that's fast or even moderately fast, this is not your device. So overall, you know, I've been pretty pleased with the Samsung Gem. I mean, for what it is, you got to keep in mind for what it is, a low-end Android device. I think it does it well. It doesn't have TouchWiz. It's a stock build of Android. It, you know, has very few bloatware applications, just a couple from US Cellular. And overall, you know, I like the design. I really do like the design. I like the physical buttons down here. I like the camera on the back. And just overall, I've been very impressed with the device. Now that said, let's take a picture real quick just so we can see how it looks. Let's do the physical button here. It does have autofocus, so focus in on the Hampton Inn there. And it's not terrible, but still not the best in the world. You can note it. You know, you can tell it's 3.2-inch display as opposed 3.2 megapixel camera. Sorry, as opposed to, you can tell it's Friday too, as opposed to a you know, 5 or an 8 megapixel camera. But you know, still quality's pretty good there. But overall, you know, given what it is, I think it's a good device. Now that said, excuse me, if you go into US Cellular store and you know the Desire, excuse me, happens to be, you know, $69.99 or $79.99, I'd say go for it. I mean, because you know, I think the jump over the course of 2 years, I think you'd be much happier with the Desire or the Acclaim or something like that as opposed to this device, the Gem. But that said, you know, you have a pretty strict budget, you want to spend $30 and want to spend $30 alone, hey, I think it's a pretty good smartphone. Much more coverage to come on the Samsung Gem and more on PhoneDog.com. I have an idea we'll do some dogfights with this device in the coming days and in the coming weeks. So keep it locked on the site for those. Be sure to like us on Facebook. We're doing the Colossal iPad 2 and smartphone sweepstakes, and we just added a new element to it yesterday called I Win, We Both Win, where if you refer friends and their ticket numbers win, you win too. So if you refer me, I get tickets, I win, You get an iPad, I get an iPad. You can't really beat that. Facebook.com/PhoneDog, and of course follow me on Twitter as well, PhoneDog_Aaron. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next time.